Is it possible that something that seems sweet in a relationship can slowly turn into poison without us realizing it? At 70, many people think life has calmed down. The days go by more slowly. Mornings feel more peaceful, and happiness often comes from small things. Like a leisurely walk in the park, sitting on a wooden bench in the morning sun, or sharing a cup of warm tea with someone next to us. But there's one thing that often goes unspoken. Sometimes, a relationship that once felt so warm can turn into something that drains the energy of the heart. Not because of big fights, not because of drama, but because of the little things that happen every day. Little things that slowly accumulate, like small stones being put into a bag, one by one, every day. At first it feels light, very light, but after a long time, that bag can feel incredibly heavy. In this video, we'll look at something incredibly important for life in old age. 4 simple things, 4 small habits, that sometimes make relationships feel less light. We'll look at it with a heartwarming story, with a simple parable, with life wisdom that can be understood anywhere in the world. Because after the age of 70, people begin to understand one very important thing. Serenity is far more valuable than anything else. A healthy relationship isn't about who's right. It's not about who's stronger. A healthy relationship is more like 2 old trees in the same garden. They don't push each other down. They don't pull each other too hard. They simply stand side by side, providing shade for each other. This video isn't about scaremongering, quite the opposite. This video is a warm reminder that relationships in old age can be a source of profound joy, if we nurture them wisely. So if you've ever wondered, why do some older couples seem so at peace? Why do some relationships feel as light as the evening breeze? And why do others feel heavy, for no apparent reason? Perhaps the answer is simpler than we imagine. And that little journey begins now. A story about relationships, about the wisdom of life, and about how to keep a warm heart, even when you're 70. Imagine a peaceful park in the morning. The air is still fresh. Small birds are singing softly. The leaves are gently moving in the gentle breeze. In the middle of the park is an old wooden bench. The bench has been there for decades. It has seen children playing, young couples walking hand in hand, and elderly people sitting enjoying the morning sun. Now imagine 2 people sitting on that bench. They don't say much. Sometimes they just smile. Sometimes they just look at the sky together. At 70 years old, moments like that feel so precious. Having someone beside us can feel like a warm blanket on a cold night. It's comforting. It's pleasant. It gives us a sense of not being alone. But there's one little thing that many people rarely talk about. Sometimes something warm, if too strong, can turn into a burden without us realizing it. Like warm tea with too much sugar. A little sugar makes the tea taste delicious. But if there's too much sugar, the same tea can become too sweet, and no longer refreshing. The same is true of relationships in old age. Relationships can be a source of joy. But if not nurtured wisely, they can also become a drain on the heart. Today we're going to talk about this in a light-hearted way. Not with fear, not with harsh words, but with simple stories, warm parables, and life lessons that can make us wiser. In this video, we'll look at 4 reasons why relationships at 70 can feel toxic if not carefully nurtured. But remember, our goal isn't to say that having a partner is bad. Not at all. Quite the opposite. Our goal is to understand how to keep relationships light, healthy, and relaxing at this age of wisdom. But before we begin this little journey, if you enjoy heartwarming stories like this, stories about life, wisdom, and the serenity of old age, you can support this channel in a small way. Hit the subscribe button, and if you found this video soothing, please give it a like. Your small support helps this channel continue creating content that brings peace to viewers around the world. Now, let's start with the first reason. When we're young, many people believe that their partner is everything. A place to talk. A place to ask for help. A place to share all decisions. And that's perfectly normal. When we're young, we have a lot of energy. Life feels fast, and sharing everything with our partner feels so wonderful. But when we reach 70, life starts to move at a different pace. Steps become slower. Bodies aren't as strong as they used to be. Energy isn't as abundant either. And at this stage in life, balance becomes crucial. Imagine a garden with two ancient trees. They've been growing side by side for decades. Their roots are strong. Their branches are large. Their leaves provide a soothing shade. When the wind blows, they protect each other. When the sun is too hot, they provide shade for each other. It's a beautiful picture of a relationship, but imagine something happening. Imagine one tree starting to lean completely on the other. At first, it might seem fine. It's only leaning slightly. But day by day, the leaning becomes more and more severe. The branches begin to press against the tree next to it. Its roots begin to pull the soil in the same direction. And slowly, the tree being leaned on begins to feel the burden. This is what sometimes happens in human relationships. If one person is too emotionally dependent, the other partner can begin to feel insidiously exhausted. It's not that love diminishes. It's not that they don't care. But because every heart, even at 70, still needs a little space to breathe. Space to think alone. Space to enjoy alone time. Space to be yourself. In old age, many small joys come from simple things. A morning walk alone, watering the plants, reading an old book full of memories, listening to soft music in the afternoon. These little things re-energize the heart. But if someone relies too much on their partner for everything, then that partner can feel like a battery that's constantly being used up without being recharged. And as we know, even the best batteries need time to recharge. A healthy relationship in old age isn't one where two people become completely one. A healthy relationship is one where two people remain on their own 2 feet, but choose to walk together, slowly, calmly, without putting pressure on each other. Love in youth often feels like a big fire, warmly, bright, and full of energy. But love at 70 is more like garden lights at night. The light isn't too bright, but enough to make the path clear. The light is soft, calm, and soothing. Garden lights don't need to be too strong to be beautiful. The same is true with relationships. Sometimes what we need isn't intense closeness, but balanced closeness. Close, but still giving space. Imagine 2 chairs in a garden. The chairs are placed side by side. The people sitting there can talk, they can laugh, they can enjoy the view together, but each still has their own space. That's a comfortable relationship. Close, but not oppressive. At 70, the greatest wisdom in relationships is understanding one simple thing. We can love each other without being completely dependent on each other. When 2 people maintain this balance, the relationship becomes light, calm, and respectful. But if this balance is lost, a relationship that started out beautiful can feel like a small weight pressing down on the heart. And that's why this first reason is so important to remember. At 70, healthy love isn't about holding on too tightly. Healthy love is about walking side by side lightly, giving space, giving air, giving peace. When that space is there, a relationship feels like a peaceful garden. But when that space is gone, the same relationship can feel heavy. And without us realizing it, something that started out warm can turn into a small poison that slowly drains the energy of the heart. Next, we'll talk about something that often happens in older relationships, but many people don't realize it. Imagine a small bag you carry while taking a leisurely walk. The first day, someone puts a small stone in the bag. The bag still feels light. The second day, another small stone goes into the bag. Still light. The third day, another small stone. Still light. But after many years, the same bag can feel incredibly heavy. Not because of one large stone, but because of the many small stones that are added every day. Human relationships often work the same way. It's not one big problem that makes a relationship feel exhausting. Often, it's the little things that keep repeating themselves. Small comments, Small criticisms, small complaints, small things that may sound simple, but if they happen repeatedly, can wear down the heart. And another reason why relationships in your 70s can feel toxic if not tended to with a gentle heart. But then again, our goal isn't to blame anyone. We simply want to understand life more wisely, so that relationships in old age still feel like a tranquil garden, not a rocky path. When they're young, many couples joke around a lot. Sometimes they tease each other, sometimes they correct each other, and it often feels light-hearted. But as we age, the human heart becomes a little more sensitive. Not because it becomes weak, but because after decades of living, one begins to value tranquility more than anything else. Imagine a very calm lake. The water is clear, the surface is smooth like glass. Now imagine someone throwing a small stone into the lake. A small wave appears. It's not big, but it's noticeable. If it's just one small stone, the lake will calm down again. But if small stones are thrown over and over again, and over and over again, the surface of the water never truly calms down. The same goes for relationships. Small comments like, "You forgot again. You always do that. Why can't it be like before?" It might seem like small words, but if said over and over again, a couple's hearts can start to feel like a lake constantly disturbed by small stones. The calm slowly disappears. Many older couples don't actually need big words. They just need a peaceful atmosphere, a small smile in the morning, a simple thank you, or sometimes just sitting together without saying anything. Such calm is often the greatest gift at age 70, and the good news is, small criticisms can easily be replaced with something warmer. Instead of saying, "You're wrong again," someone can say gently, "It's okay, we'll do it together." That small sentence can change the mood tremendously. Like the sun emerging after a light rain. Another thing that often happens in older relationships is looking back too much. Humans have memories, and memories are a beautiful part of life, but sometimes memories can also become a burden if they're constantly brought into the present. Imagine someone walking in a park carrying an old suitcase. The suitcase is filled with old objects, old photos, old letters, old stories. At first, the suitcase feels precious. But if someone continues to carry it every day, it can become incredibly heavy. In relationships, this often happens when someone keeps saying things like, "You weren't like this before. We used to be happier. Everything used to be easier." Such statements may not be meant to hurt, but to the partner hearing them, they can feel like a lingering shadow from the past. As if the present is never good enough. Yet life is always changing. Bodies change, habits change, energy changes, and that's a natural part of life's journey. A happy relationship at 70 isn't usually one that constantly compares the present to the past. On the contrary, a peaceful relationship is one that can say, "We've come a long way together. We've been through many seasons, and we're still here." There's great beauty in those simple words, because after decades of life, the fact that two people can still sit together, can still share a smile, can still walk side by side, is itself a small miracle of life. Like two old trees still standing in the same garden. Their branches may not be as strong as they once were. Their leaves may not be as numerous, but their roots are still deep. And their presence still provides shade. Next, we'll talk about something very subtle in relationships, something often unseen, but deeply felt. Imagine a small house on a cold winter's day. Inside, there's a fireplace burning. The fire doesn't need to be big. It doesn't need to be blazing high. Just a small, warm flame. It makes the room feel cozy. People can sit near it, drink warm tea, and feel at peace. But imagine something happens. Not a big wind, not a storm. Just one small thing, no one adds wood to the fire. Slowly, the fire begins to grow smaller. Then it becomes a small ember. Then it's almost out. The house remains the same. The fireplace is still there. But the warmth within it begins to fade. Human relationships sometimes work the same way. It's not a big fight that makes a relationship feel cold. Often, it's the small warmth that stops being provided. And we'll look at the final reason why relationships at 70 can sometimes feel toxic if not nurtured gently. And as always, we will look at it not with fear, but with the warm wisdom of life. In their youth, couples often do many things together. They go for walks. They joke around. They make plans for the future. But as they reach 70, life becomes quieter. Activities diminish. Long journeys aren't always easy. Days become simpler. And it's precisely at this stage of life that the little things become so important. Imagine two people who have lived in the same house for decades. Morning comes. They wake up. Each is busy with their own habits. The day passes by. There are no harsh words. There are no arguments. But there isn't much warmth either. There are no small smiles. There are no simple words like, "It's nice to see you today." Small things like these may sound simple, but to the human heart, they are like the morning sunshine. Without the sunshine, the garden remains, but the flowers don't grow well. The same goes for relationships. Relationships don't always require big things. They don't require expensive gifts. They don't require long trips. Often, all it takes is a little warmth that lingers. Like a smile in the morning, a simple "thank you," or a simple phrase like, "I'm glad we're still together." Small gestures like these may only last a few seconds, but their impact can last all day. Many happy older couples actually have a simple secret. They don't wait for big things to feel happy. They cherish small, warm moments. Sitting together in the afternoon, sharing fruit or warm tea, watching the sunset, sometimes even just sitting quietly in the same room. Sometimes two people can sit together for 10 minutes, without saying anything. Then one of them says, "Have you forgotten what you wanted to say, too?" And they both laugh. Little laughs like that are powerful medicine for relationships. Because ultimately, relationships at 70 are no longer about perfection. It's not about doing everything right. Relationships at this age are more like two people walking slowly along the same path. Sometimes the pace isn't the same. Sometimes one person walks a little slower. But they're still walking together, and there's something incredibly beautiful about that journey. After decades of life, after many seasons, after youth, busy times, and times of struggle, two people can still sit together in the evening and say, "We've come a long way." That's a form of wealth that can't be bought. So let's remember the simple lesson from this video. Relationships at 70 can be tough if you depend too much on each other. You make too many small criticisms. You live too much in the past. And when the little warmth begins to fade, but the good news is, all of these things can be fixed with simple things. A little space, a little patience, a little smile. Because love in old age is no longer a great storm. Love at 70 is more like a small lamp in a garden at night. The light is soft, quiet, but enough to make the path feel safe. And if that lamp is well maintained, a relationship can be one of the most relaxing parts of life's journey. Like two old trees standing side by side in the same garden. They don't need to push each other down, just provide shade. And that is a truly beautiful form of love. Before we truly end this video, there's one small thing that might be very important to remember. Imagine a quiet afternoon. The sun is slowly setting in the sky. The light is soft, golden, no longer bright like midday. In a quiet park, two people sit on an old wooden bench. They don't say much. Sometimes they just look at the sky. Sometimes they just smile a little. And in moments like that, one might realize something simple, yet profound. That life has come a long way. Many seasons have passed. Many stories have happened. Many challenges have come and gone. But today, they're still here. They can still breathe easily. They can still watch the sunset. They can still sit with someone they've walked with for years. In old age, happiness often no longer comes from big things. Not from long journeys, not from luxury, but from small, warm things. Like a cup of tea in the morning. Like the sound of a light laugh. Like someone saying simply, "I'm glad we're still here." That's why relationships in old age are so precious. Not because they're always perfect, but because they've endured the test of time. Like two old trees standing side by side in the same garden. Maybe their branches aren't as strong. Maybe their leaves aren't as numerous. But their roots are as deep as ever. And they still provide shade for each other. If you're watching this video today, perhaps you're thinking about your partner. Or maybe you're remembering someone from the past. Or maybe you're just sitting quietly, enjoying some alone time. Whatever your circumstances, remember one very simple thing. Every day we live in old age is a small gift of life. And every smile we give to another is a small light that makes the world feel a little warmer. If you have a partner, nurture that relationship gently. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just be patient. Just be understanding. Just a little humor in the midst of life. Because sometimes, a little laugh in the afternoon can be worth more than many words. And if you're watching this video alone today, remember that you're not truly alone. In various places around the world, there are many people your age who are also enjoying life's journey in peace. We're all walking the same path, just with different stories. If this video brings you a little peace, or maybe a smile, you can help this channel in a very simple way. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. You can also share this video with a friend or family member, perhaps someone who also needs a warm message like this. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss future videos filled with stories of life, wisdom, and serenity. And if you'd like, you can also leave a comment below this video. We'd love to read your stories, your experiences, or even just a warm greeting from your country. Finally, don't forget to turn on the notification bell, so you'll know every time a new video is released. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end. May your day be peaceful. May your heart be warm. And may your journey through life always be filled with peace. Until we meet again, in the next life story.